what people. I'm just trying to make it easy so we can get down to business, and it saves a lot of time. That's the biggest part of it. Because remember, if you start a meeting at 1, if it's 1 hour, it's got to end at 2. Doesn't matter if you're starting at 1:05 or 1:15. So I absolutely confirm, let them know what I'm wearing. I make sure that I know where the location is, especially for those locations that are brand new. Even if I'm familiar with the area, if I've never been there, absolutely get on Google Street View. That's helped me a lot. It's helped me a lot for parking, even if I know where something is. Well, where do you park? Well, get on Google Street View.
And something I wanted to say, you talked about telling people what you were wearing, is something you did on our first date again, is you were standing in front of the counter, like where you would meet somebody at a coffee shop. And I've met with a lot of people where they already got a drink and they're already seated and they're already doing their thing. And it's harder to find them because you don't look for the people that are seated. You look for the people that are standing.
Head down in a laptop or on a phone.
Yeah, I mean, we met with a photographer for our wedding the other day, and this girl was so sweet and so great, but she was already like doing her work in some table outside. And we were like, well, is that her? Is that not her? Yeah. We're on time. Shouldn't she be at the front? It made it awkward. And
well, it's also awkward when you're meeting somebody and they've gotten there early, and you should get there early, but they've already sat down, they're having a drink or food, and you've got to wait in line or get a waiter over to you. And it never, ever, ever sit down before your guest gets there. Never. And with that said, I think you should always buy your guest a drink or pay for it. If you're the one who's setting something up, always, 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 always. How much does that cost you? $5, $10, $20 maybe. But the value of that just shows that you value somebody's time. It also activates the law of reciprocity. So they're going to be more likely to do something nice for you. And I'm not saying to do that because you're trying to manipulate people, but do it just because it's the right thing to do. I work with serious businesses that are ready to invest in their business, and they're ready to do what it takes. And I'm not going to work with jerks. That, to me, is a jerky thing. Just go ahead and start and not respect somebody's time and make them spend their own money on something when they're doing you a favor. No, don't do that.
Yeah, and I just say always offer to pay anyway, because the person who offers to pay kind of has the upper hand almost. And I like to be the person that has the upper hand and the person that's offering value, and come into the meeting saying, with my actions saying, hey, I'm offering value and I'm, here to work with you. And I think it just makes a good first impression.
Speaking of good first impression, you want to have a goal for being there, a purpose, and you want to stick to that purpose. Don't be bitching about the traffic, the parking, or any other kind of problems. Your drink isn't any good. Just get to the point. Doesn't matter if the drink is awful. Doesn't matter if you had to walk a mile. Don't even mention it. Get there, get to the point, take care of business.
And sometimes you have a meeting, like I had a meeting with Jim Woods the other day, and he works with Eric Fisher on the Beyond the To-Do List podcast. And we didn't have a real purpose of the meeting. We just kind of wanted to catch up and see what each other was doing on our businesses. And that was kind of the goal.
Well, that is the purpose.
That was the purpose for us. So we didn't have like a specific goal of he's going to help me with this or I'm going to help him with that. It was just like, okay, let's kind of get to know each other for about an hour and then stay in touch. And that was the goal.
I think that's fine. And here's why. It's because you're doing your thing and he is doing his thing. You're trying to see if you can come together and work on something. I think where that doesn't work is if there's like an inequity, for example, with me, where there's an upcoming band that was looking for me to do promotion or something and my plate is full and I'm not looking for new people and they're just looking to, again, pick my brain to see if there's any way we can work together. And there's really no way we can work together. I'm not in there to try to brainstorm ways that we could work together. They need to come to me with a specific plan. So I think if you're more of an equal footing, like two bands getting together, two marketing people getting together, two bloggers, podcasters, or whatever getting together, I think that's great. But if it's something different, not so much.
And I do something when I reach out to people, I offer to pay them. Like if I need something specific, I reached out to this guy the other day who had just released his book, and I wanted some information on how he did his book launch and what worked for him and what didn't. And when we had talked previously, he'd been on the podcast and he had offered that up, and I was like, well, I would love to talk with you for about 30 minutes on the phone about that. And I'm willing to pay you. If you send me your rates, I'm willing to pay you. And he's like, oh, no, you don't have to do that. I'm happy to do it. But I think, again, that says, I'm serious about this. I'm offering you value. I respect your time.
Yeah.
And most people will just waive that, but be willing to invest in this person if they're going to give you something of value and if they're giving you something you need.
And sometimes you're going to get something better out of that because you are investing, you're taking it a little bit more seriously. You're forced to take it more seriously when you're investing money. So that can actually be a really good thing for you and them as well. Mm-hmm. I want to go back to cell phones and laptops, Laurel. I can't stand it when somebody's taking notes on a cell phone or a laptop. Can't stand it. Well, because to me, it symbolizes distraction.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if anyone's ever done that in a meeting I've had.
Yeah, pen and paper, man. Put your cell phone away. Don't take calls. Don't return texts. Don't be surfing Facebook.
I've had people do that, take calls, return text, and I'm like, why are we here?
Yeah, well,
This
and if
is
that
not your
happens,
office.
again, the clock is ticking. So if they're paying me, that's fine. I'll sit there all day and let you take calls. Mm-hmm. But if it's one of those things where I'm doing it just as a service to you, no, I'm not going to sit there. I didn't drive over there to take calls.
And if something's going on, I was in a meeting once and my mother had called me and said her car had broken down and she was trying to get a ride, but I was kind of her backup plan. I told the person that I was in a meeting with, look, I have my phone on for this specific purpose. It's probably not going to come up, but I just want to inform you of what's going on.
Yep.
And that was the only way I was going to be able to handle it because I wasn't going to let my mom be high and dry, and I had to do this meeting. So I just give people a little warning. Other than that, unless it's like an emergency like that, you don't even have your cell phone on or out or on the table. Just don't have it anywhere.
No, it's ridiculous. I don't think that, I think people are so used to having mobile phones with them all the time. We have to fight the urge to check them for the time. We have to fight wear a watch. If you need the time, wear a watch. But we're talking about high level stuff here. So this may sound, if you're not used to that kind of meeting, it may sound a little bit harsh, but that's how high level people act. And if you want to play that game, this is what is expected of you. Would you agree with that?
I do. I think you have to start acting like you want to be. If you want to be this high level business owner, you got to start acting like it now. It doesn't matter how much money you're making. It doesn't matter who you know. You just have to start acting like this person, and people will start treating you like that person. Right.
Well, perfect segue to wrap this up, Laurel. We have a giveaway right now at redpodcast.com. We're giving away all sorts of great stuff. iPods, Kindles. We've got audiobooks. We've got books that have helped us to grow our business. Everything that we're giving away, we've got 30 days of giveaways. At least one prize every day. Everything we're giving away there has helped us to grow our business.
Yeah, and it's all stuff that you can use. We're not giving away crap. I mean, this is stuff that we feel like you can use, and we want you to have it. So you can sign up for that giveaway. There's all information is on redpodcast.com.
It is. All right, final thoughts, Laurel?
Well, I think the final thought for the meetings is they're important. It's important to make a good first impression. And there are things in creating a meeting that you might not have thought about that hopefully you picked up on in this episode, that even the subtle details of setting up the meeting and communicating with somebody are really important.
Hang on, Laurel. I got to just check my cell phone real quick.
David.
Yeah, you see how that works?
I'm on to you.
Okay. All right. Sorry. Finish. Go ahead. No, go ahead. We weren't interrupted at all.
No, but I think it really is important. And you kind of had case in point right there. Is if you do that one little thing, which seems so subtle and so minor, you have ruined this meeting in the eyes of the person that you're meeting with. So don't do that. Use the advice from today and make it happen for yourself.
And if you want to be treated as a professional, act like a professional. You are whoever you say you are. That's it. See you on redpodcast.com. Go there if you've got a question, you want to contact Laurel or me directly, and we'll see you on the next episode.
You've been listening to Red Podcast, Real Entrepreneur Development. Subscribe today using iTunes, Stitcher, or via RSS at redpodcast.com.